Welcome back to the next broadcast of the LPL, and as you can see, we are globe-trotting over to Chengdu now for our final series of the day between, of course, OMG in a home arena and JD Gaming, who will be taking them on today. Now, guys, this series did start off about an hour ago, so they are thoroughly underway with their series, but we're going to be starting from the start, and now you can see the champion select has been completed. Now, we're going to be jumping in relatively quickly. This isn't like, a Pachinki hot drop like we had the other day. This is more like, mill to power. We're going to be coming in relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So, Rusty, take me through picks and bans.
All right, where to start, Pulse? We're going to go from left to right, I guess, because the first time I'm seeing this with you guys as well. First of all, OMG, they picked Zoe. So that's a big one for me. It's a shared champion between both mid laners. I actually think that's super exciting for their composition. Then they've got themselves a Gnar for some team fighting. They scoop people out of the Kindred ultimate from the opposing side. So that's what I'm looking at with their composition. They've got a nice little team fight, some split pushing capabilities. For JD Gaming, they've got a Lee Sin. I know you're probably looking at that and you're like, why is there a Lee Sin? Well, the answer's
Why
Clid.
is there a Lee Sin?
I mean, it's just that simple. Clid's a Lee Sin main, so it's good to see him back on the pick. I'm excited to see how this one actually goes when we do get into the game.
Yeah, indeed. Clid and Flawless, of course, the big Lee Sin players in the league. You always like to see it. The same with Swift picking up his Nidalee. You're like, I'll give it to them, at the end of the day. Even if we see Clid pick up a Benevolent, you're just like, well, it's a historic pick. I like to see it. And here we go, folks. We're getting into game here between JD and OMG, live from Chengdu.
Of course, the JD manager's just going to be loud, regardless of where he is. Follows the team.
Never gets old.
Bit of a screamer. Of course, for JD Gaming, you'll note that we said Zoe's there for Icon, who is going to be opposing Yagao. Now, Yagao is a very good Zoe player, knows the ins and outs of the champion, and more often than not, you'll find that he picks the counters into Zoe. He's just that good at it. Yasuo is the one that, of course, comes to mind. Xiang is going to find himself some zoom. He's not going to know that Clid's right there.
Absolutely.
Now he does.
Hello.
Oh, 10 gold.
Damn.
Game's over.
And Zombie Ward on top of that. Got him. I'm feeling very inspired right now, Rusty. That's because there are 7 secondary inspiration trees on the map and 1 primary coming in for Lumao.
Yeah, that is across the board from JD Gaming with their inspirations. There's only 4 stopwatches though. At the end of the day, I'm not surprised that Lumao's gone towards Unsealed Spellbook. A lot more supports in the world, not just in the LPL, are going towards Unsealed Spellbook in the support role. So you'll see a lot more of that, particularly on the tanks. Of course, tanks have a lot more of the ability to do exactly that.
Oh, hello. Yeah, good old Swain lane. Gonna be getting the pull off of the Pulverize there from 5. Gonna be a level 1 trade though. Ready to write home back. Loken's getting a lot of harass down actually onto 5 and Chelly. That's to be expected from a Varus lane.
Yep, very impactful amounts of poke being done down here, and that's just the nature of a Swain and an Alistar at level 1. You hit level 2, maybe you've got more all-in threat with 3 different forms of crowd control, 4 if you count the pullback that Swain's also got in his kit. So that's what you're really looking towards. But JD Gaming, they're very much aware of this. They are cognizant, and they're saying, why even get to level 2? Why not just win it all right now?
Why not, hey? Fid on this Lee Sin always makes special things happen. Fid. You see him on the Lee Sin, so we'll see what he can do. I still remember that highlight clip of the Lee Sin playing mid lane, I believe. Just lands the kick in the back line, found his way in there.
It was a 50-minute QG Reapers play.
Yeah.
Back when he had Doinby on the team. You'll always remember that.
Absolute monster.
You'll always remember that Clid is a very good Lee Sin. That is one absolute that just seems to persevere alongside Flawless, like you mentioned before. Now, Clid, with this power pick, has got a couple of ganking opportunities right now, bottom lane, just because of the health bars missing, the health values missing. The dive well on here.
Says, how do you do? Comes into the bottom lane. Chelly already low, needs an auto attack, and that will finish him off. Oh,
did he just headbutt a minion?
I believe so. And now he's coming in for round 2. Give him a lick. Tastes just like second kill.
Oh my lord. Oh, you hate to see that. 5. Now the teleport comes in very safe from Chelly as well. He knows he's not going to get the farm. May just try and soak experience, which is a possibility. So you can see that's what he's trying to do right now. Still going to get poked in the process, but I really don't want to see the replay of that one because I mean, 5 just flash pulverized and headbutted a minion under his turret. And that's the reason one of them doesn't get traded back for. Or at least a summoner spell used, I should say. Not even a flash used by JD Gaming.
That's true. In a 3-man dive at level 3, no one has to burn a flash. It was just, I believe, the ignite coming down from Lumao. So feels good. The most cleanest of dives
He's the one who starts it off by tanking it also, and a big grey health shield is what keeps him through that last tower shot. Now, at the end of the day, JD Gaming, they'd set that up from level 1. They had such a strong level 1, they were pushing their opponents out, but they were also building up a giant wave. And Clid, one of the biggest strengths that he has within this team is his ability to help lanes at the correct moments. Their team play and their team work is one of the most admirable things here from JD Gaming across the board. This is another good example of exactly that.
Indeed, we're going to see domination first and inspiration second, going for that stopwatch, of course.
This is what I would call the peanut runes. I've been looking at Peanut's Lee Sin runes when I was copying them for myself. Having inspiration secondary is being seen more and more, particularly through the Koreans. So that's where he's going to go towards this time. Clid being a Korean, of course, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Also, a lot of our players play on the Korean server.
Also true.
Clid, Jinu, Imp. Yeah, Clid's making his way towards the top lane.
That was a really weird progression of Korean names.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't know where I was. I just went through like where it was at the top of my head.
Could have said Loken. Yeah. Loken's in this game. OMG, of course, they have all Chinese.
Just cast LGD. Loken pushing back on to OMG. Chelly down to half.
He is still going.
Yeah, he just keeps walking forward. I mean, Five's going to return fire, as will Chelly. Mao's going to say, all right.
Oh.
He's going to pull him back with both arms.
Now, Icon almost felt that one as well in the mid lane trade. His Sleepy Trouble Bubble was predicting the Duke, but of course, as Zoe, if you go through the wall, it just goes forever. So the bubble was lost into the abyss, but whilst he was just predicting the Duke, and he almost felt that one. You are just cresting over to the level 6 mark. JD Gaming, with this strong early game start pulse, they really are setting themselves up to hit those ultimates and come back bottom.
Oh yeah, they're feeling good for sure. Bottom lane actually is a big wave about to resolve. See actually how much Chelly can get, because you know Loken's going to be poking away. It lands that first piercing arrow. Support's gone a bit of a walkabout, and World 6 is actually right behind him as well on this Kindred. Yeah, hefty amount of damage coming through. Clid is also pathing towards top side, so we'll see what World 6 can do. I think primarily he's just here so they don't get dove again, because if they do, then the tower's dead, so he needs to be around it.
You're exactly right. JD don't need to necessarily dive. They can continue to poke until their health bars are low enough that the dive is imminent, and that's when World 6 shows up. So right there, level 5 Varus with what is usually the Q max now, so 3 points in that one, is more than enough health that can be taken off a Swain, and it's a hard life to be Swain, especially when you are forced to teleport and recall with no money. You had the Corrupting Potion start. He teleports back in with literally just a Corrupting Potion. That means he couldn't even afford a Dark Seal, it must feel that way. So that's usually okay as like a desperation purchase. Not even that.
It hurts, for certain. We've been paying a lot of attention to the bottom part of the map, and you know, it makes sense considering we've had a lot of the action down here. Plus serrated dirt on the side of Loken, so it's going to continue to put the pain down onto Chelly. Case in point. Top lane, though, is going to be Gnar into the Jace. You spoke about briefly. Of course, you are picking at Gnar to get nice sweeps in team fights. You know, team fighting comp here from OMG is going to be strong. Then you also have Zoom on a bit of a carry pick. And Zoom has definitely been showing that he can win a lot of the solo lane matchups.
He's also proven he can win 1v2 matchups in certain situations. He loves himself a solo killer's bottom lane. The fight is on.
Five's aggressing. Flash out by Loken into that Visions of Empire. World 6 is on his way to the bottom lane. It's the reaction teleport and the reaction teleport. Lamb's Spike goes down. We're going to be a bit of healing from this one. Stops Chelly and Five from dying out. But Clid and Yagao, the whole family's here.
They've got their ultimates. The combo is potentially available. Note that they are avoiding vision for as long as possible until they see the chance. They're going to choose to back away this time instead. Perhaps not revealing themselves, but World 6, OMG, Xiang staying in the bottom lane now as well. Very awkward assignments and a lot used. Just the potential for something to happen. Mostly defusal. After their initial start looked good, and they had to immediately react, and danger stations all aboard the runaway train from OMG.
Yeah, could have gone a lot worse, but OMG did defuse that situation. Really great Kindred ultimate coming in from World 6 on the defensive play here. At least you don't really use defensive and World 6 in the same sentence, but that definitely was what it was there.
Yeah, you really don't.
Clid going to be taking the crap, and he's also got Yagao coming up. It's going to be good. He's also got his blue buff. Xiang actually just moving through the jungle right now, and now he's actually taking a trip to the mid lane. Bit of a wander through the forest.
Forces the smite. It's a small victory there. I think World 6 is the real victor in that situation because, of course, pushing away from that blue buff does secure it entirely to him. He could give it to Zoe, which is what you would want to see. The wolf calms down. There you go. It's a big win for Icon. And he's got a redemption, because why the heck not, you know?
What did we say yesterday? Better players get better items.
Yeah, we said better players crit more, better players get better items on Zoe.
Yep.
And that just carries through, you know? Better players also just don't get Aatrox banned against them for no reason. So
exactly.
They get free options, you know?
Yep. Just remember, that's what you need to do at home. It's simple.
Yeah, be better.
Yeah. So stopwatches have just come online. We're now cresting the 10-minute mark. These guys have had it for a little while now. Reminder that's on jungle, mid lane, and bot lane, the entirety of it for JD, because they are all feeling very inspired.
And you know, we didn't actually talk about this, and it feels a bit weird, especially now, but Loken on his first recall went towards a Fairy Charm for the increased mana regeneration. Now, I do think the Fairy Charm as a standalone item is super efficient to get. Just flat mana regeneration and a decent sell cost on return. So when he came back to lane with an accelerated lane, looking to perhaps snowball it further, he buys that to get more spell rotations off, and then he's able to utilize that in the lane effectively, and was pushing very aggressively, using spells actively, knowing that he'll be able to out-sustain what was Chelly in that case.
Yep.
I like that, and immediately sells it, because he needs the item slots for other things, and I really do appreciate that, because right now it's a control ward. That's how you know he's the team player.
There you go. I mean, Loken, yeah, don't usually look towards him for necessarily creativity, though I do look towards old token Loken for a damn good performance. I think that Loken's been stepping up recently a lot. Five is coming in here to gank his own lane because Wall 6 is right behind him, finds the sidestep.
Ooh.
That's going to be a nice gobble up there from Mao, and he'll just save his AD carry.
Not even the chance of the pulverize this time around. Lumao's even able to save his control ward that World 6 was looking towards. Chelly too busy dealing with a giant stack of minions to help the team, and in the 2v2 they're not feeling very confident. Though the Varus ultimate was used, so that's what you're looking at.
Yagao saying, yep, I understand the annoyance of this champion. I play it a lot.
I mean, if he was put to sleep, he was probably dead there, so
yeah,
good dodge in the end.
As you said, he intimately knows how this champion works. It is his champion. Chelly will find his way back to the bottom side. You can actually see that World 6 has been spending a lot of time in the bottom lane, really just to try and give something back to Chelly and Five, since they had a very rough start to the lane. It'd be nice to see him just try and do what he can. Klid's going to find World 6 on the back half. He's going to be dragged in by the Shockwave. Takes down the Lance Spike. He's kicked out. Yagao follows up with the auto attack. He's dead. The rest of JD follow up just in case the fight opened up, but it was here for a party Abyssal Voyage, I think, more than anything else, and it will be the Dragon now started by JD.
And that was just so clean from JD's duo of Klid and Yagao. Honestly, they see the Kindred, they do not hesitate, they do not maximize the damage combo of the spells, they throw a Shockwave that immediately is responded to by World 6 with his Lamb's Respite, and Klid just kicks him out. During the kick, of course, Five noticed that there's a Sonic Wave on him, so pulverize him and says, don't do this. But Yagao knows exactly what's happening as well. They're so aligned in the play that World 6 just dies, even though he has his flash up. Because of how clean JD Gaming are.
That's the other reason why Lee Sin is such a good pick into this matchup. You can just, just kill him. Kick him out of his respite. Yagao, left, right. He's got the dancing shoes. He's still dodging. He's double dipping and diving. Unfortunately, you can't dodge lasers. So Icon will get the solo kill.
Yeah, no mana as well, so Yagao does his best, doesn't use a summoner spell, however, too much time perhaps spent dodging. He could have walked into the bubble and cleansed his way through the turret if need be.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be seen. He is going to go down. Icon very smartly finds himself the solo kill, knowing that he has the ability to all in. Picks up the Spell Thief Ignite, gets the move speed as well, and just navigates. It doesn't give him a good option.
Yeah.
Made him pick between bad choices, and Yagao unfortunately picks the worst one.
Unfortunate. I mean, like, it was really well played by Icon, but as you said, Yagao is out of mana, which made it the saddest solo kill ever. You know, it's less about him trying to find a kill in return and more about Yagao trying to not die. We can see it again, though. Yeah, Yagao only really has enough in the tank for maybe a command protect. There's going to be a distance in the end there for him.
Yeah, and he dodges most of the spells that he can here, to be honest with you. You see it there, but Icon, of course, still has the ultimate available. Once he picks up the Ignite, activates it, he gets move speed, and then he picks up a Proto Belt. So he's able to activate that one, continue to stay on top of his target. Worst case scenario for Icon, had the summoners to follow. Yep, nice clean little solo kill there from OMG's mid laner, and this is something that, for OMG, has to exist for the most part. You know, I was looking at them before this set, and I came to the realization that it's not just Icon having to do heroics that makes them succeed, it's Five in his ability to engage. So that's the other thing we have to find from them in this one.
True. Shan's going to give him the scooper right here, but
trouble.
Yep, the gang is here. Oh, nice dodge out of Five's combo though. Follow up, and the boomerang does not connect. Zoom is going to escape.
He only had one way out there, Zoom, but he finds it. He manages to flash over the headbutt pulverize combo. Five, I think, could have just headbutted without the pulve, save the flash pulve if necessary, but didn't expect that from Zoom. I don't think anyone expected that from Zoom. Incredible stuff coming out of the Jace. He survives.
I mean, he's known for a while now. Zoom is a damn good top laner. Ever since he got that solo kill on the Shy, really been making the name for himself on the top side of JD. But really well played in the end there, dodging out of that 3-man collapse. And he will get the rest of his minion wave. 0-0-0. Now he has Clid on the way to the top side on this Lee Sin. 0-0-3.
Hasn't been spotted yet.
He's hungry because he's got all of his summoners. He's also got a Dragon's Rage. Xiang, he's gone into Mega Form. He's a big target for Clid to follow up on. Lands the Q, lands the kick, kicks them way to safety.
Clid.
But here's the rest of the team. Perfect timing. Chelly kiting backwards.
Oh no!
Shockwave doesn't hit anything. That's on the floor. Five moving forwards, double mock-up, and in comes Loken. It's everybody's arrived to the party right here. Mao's gobbled someone up. It's going to be one of his allies, and everybody from JD simply walk it off. In comes Icon, almost gets a kill onto Yagao.
How many stopwatches do we have, man?
7.
Well, they're all used in the one fight. Oh, that Q almost connects Clid.
What? He takes it
Everyone
on the chin.
Call it a day. The fight has ended like 30 seconds ago, but we're still going. OMG are pushing, however, they are looking for the structure. JD feel like they have to defend this one. Now Zoom can, with all of his wave clear from range, that's what you'd expect to see from him. So OMG, they have to respect it, they have to back away. They're just looking for kills. And with no pick seen, that's a really dangerous and delicate fight, but no one wins.
Yeah. Clid, seeing that with people teleporting behind him, is like, alright, get off me now. Kicks him back to the tower. Then tries to escape. Almost dies in the process. But yeah, that was just a whole lot of resources burnt. That's teleport.
I feel like the items are bugged because I saw no, he picked a stopwatch up. Oh my god, Zoe.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, I was going to say that was a lot of stopwatches used in the fight. Well, guess what? Icon still has his own one.
Yeah.
Because he can.
Did even spiders from the shop. Actually, that was a fake flash. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he picked one up. Turret now being looked at from JD Gaming. A lot of control, let's say, around that area with all the wards they've placed down, asserting dominance in the river. OMG very hesitantly moving towards it, knowing that they can't walk through the lack of vision they have. They would die immediately to an Orianna, to a Varus, and to a Lee Sin's damage threat. So by walking the long way via blue buff, they do lose the objective and pressure on top lane being freely placed down by JD.
Clid might just place down Shelly. The tower's going to die regardless. Just kidding. Defense coming in here from OMG, 3-man. And maybe holding on to this Herald for a second, unless he wants to place it down in the shadows. But it would really be nice to crack open an inner tower here if they can actually save it.
I mean, with mid lane already gone, the place that you'd want to place it is to break these out as in the top lane, get the last one gone so that you can open yourself up on the entire map more. In saying that, with the Dragon up in a minute, I feel like there's a game plan of even just using the Herald as a sacrifice in top lane because it's a pressure draw from OMG if they see it summoned to the top lane. And all Zoom really has to do is exist next to it, defend it, and that turret will fall, and they can pressure the Dragon at the same time.
It is a Cloud Dragon though, they would have wished it was maybe something like an Infernal, but a Cloud Dragon is a Cloud Dragon. We'll take it regardless. But you're right, it would be an easy just drop there. 20 seconds on Cloud.
I don't really think we've seen, you know, the most efficient Herald uses from most teams in general in the world. I do feel like there are extra strategies, untapped reservoirs, if you will, of strategies that could be used. And I think that we just explained is a potential example. If that Dragon wasn't Cloud, then there is a possibility that happens.
Yep.
But you're right, it's just a Cloud.
But there are so many different situations that you actually have to think about, you know, and many of it are like split decision on the fly. You know, it's just like, if we get Herald in this situation, what are we going to do? Can we, you know, place it down to make a play like that? And you're absolutely right. You know, that would be a good one to do. I think my favorite I saw a long time, I think it was back in Spring Split actually in the LPL. A Herald was placed down at Baron, and then just walks past the enemy team. It's just like, well, either you deal with Shelly, who's going to take 2 turrets, or you stop us at Baron.
The pain train's coming mid lane.
Yeah.
You want to defend this Baron? We're going to take your turrets.
Yeah. Bit of a skewer situation if you play chess. And yeah, it's going to be a Dragon going over to JD. Didn't even need to place down a Herald. It's got 50% duration on it, so will be placed down in the next 2 minutes. Yep. The clouds, you kidding me? Come on. Cloudy day.
Easy it'll take. I do think that, you know, more than one Cloud in someone's team composition is massive. The amount of move speed is very significant, that's for certain. Especially with champions like Lee Sin not running Boots of Mobility. He's gone for the Mercury trait, so extra move speed, a nice compensatory factor.
My favorite is when you have a Skarner on your team and you're like, heck yeah. The fastest Skarner in the East.
I forget who I responded to about that, but Skarner is gross with Righteous Glory sprinting at you, but back when I was a competitive player, I had a stint with Legacy where we were practicing a composition just for a tournament. It was Skarner, Lulu, Morgana.
Whoa.
Oh, God,
oh no, I gotta go back. Oh no!
Ooh.
Perfect timing. Xiang's right behind him, but he's mini. He's all took it out. So Icon, super dead.
He expected the shockwave. The shockwave did not come out. Yagao then sees the ult and says, well, this is the perfect opportunity to now throw my shockwave. And by forcing the stopwatch to be used, the perfect timing will not save Icon, even though it was perfectly timed. He was very much mispositioned with no way out.
Oh dearie me, because here comes Shelly, and she's angry. That's going to be in a tower dropping. I fully expect JD to keep going, to be honest. We've got a couple of Poke champions.
It's unlikely, though.
Come on, man.
They could have hard forced it if they wanted, but Clid's already on the other side of the map right now. He's in bottom trying to force that wave in. Tragically for him, he's just short.
Yeah, I feel like it's maybe because it was low mana on Yagao, Loken, and Zoom, but what a composition if you wanted to keep moving forwards with Shelly. You've got 2 Poke champions on the ball. And at least in with a potential flank, you know. It feels good on paper, but maybe just didn't have the mana reserves.
You know, speaking towards composition, I'll go back to my point here. Back when we used to run Skarner, Morgana, Lulu. Now, that is a hilarious combination. I think back then you'd have a talisman or something like that, you know, you'd activate it, Lulu would speed you up with Whimsy, give you a shield. Morgana would just put a spell shield on you and say, run. And you just watch a Skarner go through the entire enemy team, find the carry, pull him all the way back because of the move speed you've given him, and then you just blast that single person. It was great for the first 20 minutes until they could afford a QSS. And then you just hard lose, but it was great for 20 minutes.
I mean, that's just cheese at the highest level. That's basically turning the Skarner into an Olaf.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's just like quick substitution. Now we've drafted Olaf. And he's also got Impale.
So. Olaf with the stinger.
Yeah. Olaf with a pickaxe, you know, where he just like... And then drags
Ice Climber Olaf.
Yeah, Ice Climber Olaf.
That's a skin
Make
idea.
it a skin. Ship it. I want 10% of the proceeds.
Damn, Ice Climbers.
Yeah, they're coming back in Smash 5.
I don't understand those things. That's why I don't want them to come back.
Ice Climbers.
There's just too much going on when you watch them.
Well, apparently you can actually control the AI of, was it Nana?
Is that why it's coming back?
I don't know. I think there's like 1 pro level Ice Climber.
There is, yeah.
In the same way that Axe is like the 1 Pikachu guy.
There's always one.
I respect it. As a one-trick myself, I have a lot of respect for the one-tricks.
You know, in League of Legends, it's
Hungry
hard
Box,
to be a one-trick. There are people, certain players who can be one-tricks, but it's not as easy to make them work.
Not
even
in
if,
pro play.
Yeah, even if you have mastery, it doesn't necessarily work in pro play. There are people, though. There are champions. I think like Yagao Zoe, I would say he was close
Signature picks versus one-tricks.
Yeah. But because he's got a wealth of options, you have to be a pro.
Because think about, you know, Fen. He's a true one-trick.
Is it Cassidy and Aurelia 2-trick now?
Yeah. Ah, that's true,
Because he had to.
Yeah. But then bans exist in League of Legends. Bot lane is being sieged out by JD. Because who's that Reinhardt one-trick? You know what I mean? Like, there's not bans, so you can be a Reinhardt one-trick.
Aluka.
Yeah.
I mean, the Scion one-trick, would you believe it, is a tank player that transcends game.
Shocker.
JD smashing during all of this time, just for the record. They're taking turrets after turrets, and they're controlling the bottom half of the map. The 23 minutes in, they could move to the top side. I would like for them to transition more than just their vision control. That's the thing. OMG, no vision control at all on the top side near Baron. Yet Icon, he's up here having a good push.
Yeah, your boy Yagao, he wants us. Uh-oh. Sombrero on the floor, but here comes the team. There's going to be teleports down from OMG. Double teleports, in fact, on top of that
Everyone's
1 minion. Oh boy, that was more than they bargained for. Chelly, he's gone into the Ascension, but he didn't quite make it. He's going to be taken back down to Earth. Xiang backing away. He's quite a tanky Gnar. Oh, arrow coming across Icon. He's been dropping it below half. He's over the wall. Slams him into the wall, but Mao with the save, and Loken snipes him down. JD, it's just a little bit too easy for them.
And it's next to the Baron buff where we just spoke about their vision, and would you believe it, very easy for them to transition, at least in a bait. So with a lot of their health gone, they may not consider going all in on it and going for the 5v5, but they wanted to bring over some OMG members. OMG, do not fall for the bait. They will just clear mid-wave and JD will have to reset. But you're seeing the makings once again of JD. Hard snowballing this one, super quick. And remember, we're only 24 minutes in and it's about 7,000 and it's actually just, whoa, felt easy.
It has. I mean, yeah, it feels like OMG has kind of given up with a bit of a whimper. I mean, like, yes, the shockwave misses, but
it's the one-up on every degree. Someone wants to teleport in. OMG like, we got 2 teleports, and then JD like, how about 4? Because the Tom Kench brings in Loken whilst Zoom gets in as well. Everyone's here to the party. There's really no chance for OMG from that point, because the numbers disadvantage was far too high. And, you know, even without a shockwave connecting, it doesn't matter too much. Nice little Q there from Clid. And a better eat from Lumao will keep him out. And then Baron just targets Xiang, and he regrets his decision because his ultimate scooped the Baron.
Yeah, unfortunate. Also, a bunch of damage coming in from Loken. I mean, very little armor actually on Xiang. He's only got the ninja tabbies right there for armor.
That's the Gnar problem, really. Black Cleaver, Frozen Mallet, or Blade of the Ruined King are usually one of your first 3 options. Often with Black Cleaver comes a Frozen Mallet, so it's very hard to find a defensive item until about 4th or 3rd. Even then, sometimes you might have to do the Desperation Guardian Angel just to be immediately relevant in terms of tankiness. A Guardian Angel giving you a second life is actually often more valuable than going towards, say, Randu and Adaptive Helm.
But then worst case scenario, you're behind in the game, you just get your Guardian Angel burnt for no reason, and you're just like, well, I should have gone not Guardian Angel. Because now it's useless for the next 5 minutes.
We'll see where he goes. I know often you'll see after the Frozen Mallet the likes of the Adaptive Helm or the Randuin's Omen as necessary. Not a lot of crit, however, from JD's side. I think flat armor is a very big win for OMG's team composition. Namely because they are against a Jace and a Varus, both of which are mashing that lethality. As fast as they can get it, they'll spam those items out.
Yep. Just a bit of armor, you know. Because I'd be like, you know, you've got a bunch of health, pick up a gargoyles, that'd be nice. But really, you just need the armor to deal with Zoom and Loken.
I know Tubby's in a cloth armor. It's probably efficient in terms of armor values. Against all of the lethality that's there. And then it's just Yogal for the magic damage, and he'll scale up pretty nicely. It's gone for that flat penetration build as well.
What? Engaged by 5 right here. He's going right into the enemy team. Gobbled up by Mao. He's backing away. Goes Golden. Cleared in the backside. Kicks Icon right into the open arms of Zoom. Lambs just about to say his time's out.
Shockwave.
Oh, only drags in Chelly again. There are so many damn stopwatches. He's about to get forced back once again. He flashes out there. Everybody's using every summoner under the sun. And Zoom will eventually get the kill onto the Swain.
Yeah, it's 1-7 in kills. JD, they'll get themselves another pick. Zoom just able to get around, and the Baron buff is still an area where JD are able to focus. Now, at the end of the day, they get the picks. There are just so many golden members. It's unreal. I feel like I'm watching Moana right now. Good reference. Everything's shiny. It's JD, they'll just go to the Baron. No OMG. Not contesting at all.
I mean, what can they do, really? Lots of summoners and resources burnt in that last fight. OMG unable to contest, and JD outside of a single kill and a single tower, a near on perfect game for them. They've just been crushing OMG left and right, and we've never really gotten to see, you know, that random swing come in from OMG. You know, they seem like in some ways a bit like a Rogue Rise. Like sometimes they'll just find a big play. And even if it won't be 5 members, it will be a single member, and likely it will be coming from Icon. You know, you're usually expecting like a massive play to come from Icon, that to be transitioned into an objective, but that is not a reliable way of winning games.
I mean, the immediate problem for OMG here then is that he's on Zoe. You know, Zoe can make big plays, but usually scales off super hard. He's not going to be able to 1v9, you know, late stages of the game. Whilst he can burst or assassinate one person, he's also staring down against a cleanse mid laner, a Tahm Kench as well that can keep your team alive. And even now, Lumao's gone towards the heal for a bit of extra team utility. So for Icon to be the hero, pretty difficult in this one. Will require something even extra special from him. But he is the one member of OMG that does those things. And that's what you're looking at, where World 6 has built himself pretty purposefully in a defensive manner. Even though he's got the aggressive Kindred, he is trying to keep his team alive as JD are the ones engaging first.
That's probably the easiest I've ever seen an inhibitor tower go down. OMG just watched it happen, hiding behind their inhibitor.
We're nearing the Bob Ross of esports right now.
It really is. It's a bit of a nature documentary. I feel like we need David Attenborough in here.
OMG are making happy little accidents. Shockwave's on.
That's a lot of trees. Oh, Charlie pops down the ultimate, backing away from this one. Wall 6 is dead. And he'll back away. Oh, Loken. Styles on him right there.
Oh, Icon as well. Good night.
100 to 0'd at the foot of his Nexus. 3 kills to JD. That barely counts as a fight right there. And again, it's just a bit too easy for them. 5 has a crack at them. And JD, they'll take game 1.
Barely a fight, and honestly, barely a game in the end. JD Gaming just looks so clean. OMG honestly do not look like they are up to this match at all compared to their opponents right now. That was a schooling. And OMG are going to have to go back, do some homework backstage with their coaches and come into game 2 a lot more prepared. Because it started at level 1 in the 2v2 in the bottom lane from JD Gaming. It transitioned very quickly to a dive. And when that dive was successful, a lot of the hopes and dreams of OMG were shattered as JD started to snowball. And JD, they're an early game team, and if they snowball, the game is very over.
Yeah, that's a ramp. Ooh, yeah, World 6 dealing 1,000 damage at the end of that game. It's yeah, it's not quite what's the golden number? The 400 and the old meme.
Oh,
you know,
443.
Yeah, 443.
Kid's damage on
good
Bane.
Old kid. Yeah, rest in peace. I feel bad because he's retired, but it's still funny. 1,000 damage though. At least it's over double that from World 6.
This is a weird game when you really think about it. You know, JD Gaming, they're 3rd in their conference, but they have got some powerhouses directly above them, and they are still very positive in their win-loss record. OMG aren't actually doing too poorly in terms of standings. They're 5th, they're not 7th, and there's 7 teams in each conference, so they've got some wins. They've got 4 wins now in terms of sets, but this game did not feel like it was somewhere between 3rd versus 5th. They felt very much like a 1st versus 7th in difference, because OMG, they were just completely beaten, and you don't want to say it was strictly from the draft. You actually look at this and you would say that JD just felt and looked like the better team by a country mile.
I mean, he just kind of controlled the game, you know, from start to finish. And I feel like it just almost looked like OMG had the wind kicked out of them. You know, we saw like a great play in the mid lane from Icon. To be fair, his opponent couldn't fight back, but he still solo killed him. Yeah, it was still a good kill. But then following that, we really didn't see anything. You know, it was just OMG not really able to get anything across the board, and JD just whittling down tower. It's like everything was textbook, you know what I mean? It's just like you open the textbook and at page 5 you're just like, now take the Baron and then siege the base. And then they did that, and there was no one to really defend because OMG was sat behind their inhibitor. So it almost felt like at a certain point they wanted just the game to end and head into the second game. You know, the beauty of the LPL is you have 3 games to play, you know, possibly in a best of 3. So reset, go into the next game, and then come out with something different.
I agree, and they've still got strengths that they can take away from that one. I thought that Icon's laning was fine. He did have that outplay, and I also think that 5 was hitting engages. You know, I do think that he was doing a part of what the team needs. It was just the rest of the team around him that I would look at. I'd say that's got to probably change.
Yeah, that's for certain. Loken will get our MVP in this game. Definitely think that the old token Loken came with a big play in this game. 6 MVPs to him so far. The split has definitely gone from side character to protagonist here in summer. And this Varus play was just as good. 9% kill participation, 5-0 and 4.
Good teleports as well to assist his team. You can see that reflected through his kill participation. Did very well to assist them in getting that victory. I personally would give it to the Tom Kench. I thought that he played out of his mind. Yep,
now we're going to move quickly and make sure we can get into the next game as fast as possible. So we are going to take a quick break. When we get back though, we'll be in here for Game 2 in Chengdu.
相信这支年轻气盛的京东，相信过程。